moms, so today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about an app that I found really helpful for those moms that are pumping milk and keeping track of your milk stash and what you're kind of using. I use this app called Milkmaid, and you probably can't see it, but it has this little icon right here, and it is basically a green background with a woman and a milk pail. It's called Milkmaid. You can find that on your app store, and I think you do have to pay for it, but it's a really good app to use. I really like it because when you open it up, okay, it'll give you options of pump, use, milk that you use, if you're moving the milk from one place to another, or you're pouring, combining containers and stuff like that. It'll show you your stash, so that way you can kind of actually see, you know, where you have your milk and how much ounces you have. And it actually has a reminder clock for you here, so that way you can remind yourself to pump. And then the stats is kind of cool. Now, the thing is, you kind of could, when you start making milk, I think it becomes an exception. Kind of comes an obsession, and you are always checking this to make sure that you're making enough milk, you're storing enough milk, how much you're using per day, and everything like that. So the stats are really, really cool with that. The history is where you will find basically, you know, the times and stuff of when you're pumping and when you're using the milk, okay? And then the locations is basically where you're storing your milk. You can add locations. It comes populated with certain locations already, so that you have other ones where you're, like, for instance, if you're traveling to work or to a daycare or to multiple places and you're storing your milk in all those different places, then you can add those locations as well, okay? So with the pump, you just press pump, and then it'll ask you to start left or right, so you can start both of them if you want. So it does a little timer for you, so that way you know how long you're pumping. If you have a pump that doesn't have a timer, this is really, really helpful. And that way you keep track of basically how long you've been pumping under your stats, and you know, the cumulative total and things like that interests you. And then after you are done, it allow you to add basically the ounces that you pumped, and then you can actually now, you know, put it in a bag or a bottle. You put a new bag or a new bottle if you're starting a fresh one, or if you already have an existing one, you can just tap on that and add it to an existing bottle or bag that you already have somewhere else. Okay, it'll give you an option to enter the time. So like, say for instance, sometimes I'll pump and I wasn't able to record it on my phone because my toddler is holding my phone, so I could just go ahead and change that number. Now it's important to change it because then it keeps track of basically when the milk kind of expires. You know, not crucial if it's only been like 1 or 2 hours, but you know, if it's like a day or something like that, or a couple of days or something like that, it's crucial to change it so that it's the correct time, so that way you know when your milk expires. And then, okay, then it gives you the location, so that way you can automatically put where you're going to put the milk. You know, most people put it in the fridge first and then move it to their freezer. So that just shows you. When you're using the milk, you just press this use button right here, and then you just you know, press wherever you're using it, and it'll give you the option of just using the whole bottle or just the partial of the bottle. If you use partial, then it'll ask you to enter in the amount, and then you press use. And it also gives you an option to dump your milk, so if your milk gets old or if you actually spill some milk, that way you can kind of, you know, have the option to do that. When you're moving your milk, it gives you the option just to move the whole container. So usually, you know, you will just move like from home fridge to home freezer, or you can combine them. You know, like so if you have 2 bags that you were pumping while you were driving, so you can combine them into one container, you can do that. Okay, or you can just combine partial as well. So you just click on that, just choose, and you can just change the amount. Just choose and put it into a different container, or put it into a new container. Okay. Your stash. Now it's going to show you your stash and where everything is, and then you can add milk too. So I like to, when I'm moving my milk from one place to another, I like to kind of check to make sure that I have the correct amounts, and then that way I can add or delete milk. You could delete it by pressing edit, and it'll come up with these little icons for you to delete it, and then you can add milk. Okay, and if you need to change something, you just go to the history area, and then you just press the area that you want to change. So for instance, you've entered the wrong amount, you just click on that, and then I'll just bring up the basically the the pump or the session that you just typed in, and then that way you can change it however you need. So this application is really, really, really good, and it works really, really well for me as far as keeping track of my pump. It also tells you basically how long you pumped, and also the numbers of pumps you had that day, and the ounces that you pumped that day as well. So that way you can, if you're wanting to pump every 2 hours, so that you actually just come in and just look, oh, I already pumped about 35 minutes ago, I don't need to pump right now, or you can set a reminder so that way it can ring you when you already pumped up an hour and 20 minutes or however long it takes you to pump. Okay? Alright, so hopefully that kind of helps you if you're looking for an application to keep track of your pumping. This should really help me, and I will be living this application for about 10 months, so I know it pretty well. Okay, well, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to this channel to get more tips and tricks. I will talk to you next time. Bye!